Hi, welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Cousin Gina.
Today we're talking about Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 14, Episode 14. It is titled Off the Rails, and it is the reunion replacement, watch party. I don't know what you want to call it. It reminded me of the People's Couch.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Gina, have you ever been to Rails?
No, I didn't even realize it was on the rail.
Yeah.
Me neither.
That's
It's on the rails.
what is
And they
that?
said
Is that Totowa?
Tawaka.
Yeah.
Tawaka. Okay.
Tawaka, but I think they said it's like a subset of Montvale. Is that what they said?
Yes.
Yeah. So where Joe and Melissa used to live and now Teresa lives in Montvale, it's right
Yes.
there. Yeah.
So the ladies all go back there for the first time since the finale, and there's a downstairs room and an upstairs room because I couldn't figure out which number was which. So in the downstairs room, we have Margaret, Rachel, Danielle, Melissa, and Jenn Fessler. In the upstairs room, we have Teresa, Jenn Aydin, Jackie, and Delores.
Did you notice like how the I'm just gonna call it the fun room with Margaret and Melissa
Downstairs.
and Rachel and
Yeah.
all them. In the fun room, they were hugging, they were laughing, like they were genuinely happy to see each other.
Yes.
They were, but when Jenn Fessler got there was a little bit of tension.
Yeah.
A lot
There
of
was
tension, but I like the way they, twisted it and got everybody on the right track.
And yeah,
Can
like
I
they
say
wrapped it up.
I had a problem with it. I had a problem that they were filming in the same place that they filmed the week before, because when they're doing flashbacks, and I'm like, wait, what am I looking at? Am I looking at today? Am I looking at the finale party? It got a little confusing. If Andy is listening to this podcast, maybe next time change the place.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Fly
I
him out
agree
to
with that.
California to the Quiet Woman.
That'd be a great crossover.
I would.
Yeah.
But you're right. The downstairs was fun. The upstairs was miserable. Teresa,
Awful.
miserable.
Awful. Just sitting there so stiff, just ready to, just very confrontational and just not relaxed, not fun.
Yep. And you know how Teresa always has to come in the last? It's like, enough of the Teresa. I am just sick and tired of it. I've had enough of her. I really have. And you know what? I didn't need a reunion.
But we didn't have one.
Yeah.
So,
but I think it was a good decision.
Yeah, I
think it was
do
a
too.
good decision. Now
I agree.
I just rewatched on Peacock. The first thing they talk about, and it was kind of in a flashback, were about leaking things to the blog. Okay. Now the timing of this, we know when the reunion, watching the final show was filmed, and that was maybe a month and a half ago. No mention of Teresa and Jenn leaking things to the bloggers.
It was July 15th that they filmed it, the watch party.
And we knew about the bloggers before that. Melissa's Old Nose came out way before that and told us.
You're right. You're right. Nobody mentioned that.
No. And I'm going to ask Joe Gorga about it Saturday night.
I agree with that. Why wasn't that? See, here's the thing. I didn't mind what they did, and I didn't need a reunion either because Teresa just barrels over everybody. But what would have been good is if Andy were there, even if he was there via Zoom, asking them questions. Because if the girls in the fun room had an opportunity to actually answer a question for once in a reunion without Teresa barreling over them, we could actually hear what they had to say. You can never hear what anybody has to say because she just dominates the conversation. Maybe Andy should have been there, like facilitating in some way. Because you're right, that never came up. And that is bullshit because that is huge what they were doing.
Yeah.
That is huge. I mean, Monica Garcia basically got fired.
Now, I was listening
from Salt Lake.
Gabriella, who used to be Melissa's Old Nose on whatever social media platform. She was the blogger that Jenn Aydin and Teresa were leaking things to.
Yeah.
And I was listening to her podcast. I think she was with David Yontief on Behind the Velvet Rope before Sunday, before we saw this. And she was telling him what was going to happen on this show.
She's been doing it for weeks.
Yeah, she still even found out because people told her, But all that was out before this was filmed. Why wasn't there a mention of it?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. And I think, I mean, you could ask Joe Gorga, but he's not going to have an answer for you. I think it all has to do with production, because even if it was brought up, they weren't going to show it.
Actually,
Right.
you know who I'm going to ask who's got a big mouth? Joe Benigno.
Yeah.
He'll tell
And
me.
he might know because of Margaret.
And he'll be drunk by then.
Maybe Margaret will be, maybe the wives will be in the back with them.
I
Stop
hope
it.
so.
That would
Yeah.
be
I would
amazing.
love that.
Yeah.
Amazing. You're right.
Yes. Yes.
So when Jenn Fessler gets there, Rachel says that she wants an apology from her before she even, shows up. And they have their little conversation. And, they apologize and they make everything right. Then Danielle says to Jenn Fessler, because she showed up late because she ran into traffic or whatever, she said, after watching back the season, how do you feel about defending Jenn Aydin? And I like that Jenn Fessler said, well, after seeing it back, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I like that she could admit that she was wrong.
That was a good thing for her to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was, she's kind of like this. I mean, my opinions have changed the past month on a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, hit the road.
Right.
Delores.
Agreed.
Delores.
Yeah,
Her
I agree.
behavior with Margaret.
Yeah. Uncalled for. Totally uncalled for. I mean, we saw today that the Jersey Jays is now going to be just Jackie Goldschneider because Jenn Fessler is no longer doing the podcast. I
didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. Gina sent that to us. I had seen it already.
Oh, I never opened that.
I sent it to you. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you sent it to us.
That's
I
amazing.
don't know what the 4 J's are.
No, the Jersey Jays.
The podcast with Jenn Fessler and Jackie Goldschneider.
Even though they had one.
And Jenn Fessler's not going to do it anymore.
Jenn Fessler's not going to do it. And Jackie announced that she's doing her own solo podcast. And she's talking about, hold on, let me look since Gina sent it to us.
That I heard. Wait, yeah, about Jackie's podcast. Now I remember. You have to remember, I'm retired. I do nothing but send texts to you two all day long.
That's amazing.
And sometimes it's like, wait, stop. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if you've got your phone on. Like, your children may be out.
Probably sleeping. We have to work in the morning.
Hey, what if your child's out and you got your phone on? Here I am texting you Real Housewives at 2 in the morning.
You're so funny. So what she said was, I'm so excited to announce my new solo podcast on iHeartRadio starts today. The first episode delves into what happened with me at the finale and the very loaded topic of forgiveness. I spoke to the brilliant Melissa Reich, a.k.a. at your Bish therapist, about all things forgiveness, doing it without resentment, whether it's really possible after so many years of strife, blah, blah, blah. There's more on there, but I'm not listening to it. I don't want any part of it.
She's the new Raquel.
Yes.
So Raquel fucked up, left the show, and now she's going to just talk about her being on the show because that's the only way people are actually, I'm not going to listen to it either because I could give a shit. But that's the only reason people would listen to a podcast with Jackie on it is if Jackie talks about her time on the show. Because nobody cares about you, Jackie. You fucked up. You went to the dark side, Jackie.
Yeah.
She may get a good 3 episodes out of that podcast.
Exactly.
And you know what?
She's the new Raquel.
It bothered me so much, I even wrote it down. When she walked in, she said, I'm not going to be trashing anyone.
Yeah.
You folks are my new friends. I'm not going to trash anybody. I was like, really? You're meeting with the ex-wives? You're the one that started all the trouble?
Exactly.
That's another one my opinion changed. I used to be a big Jackie fan.
Oh,
but
me
you
too.
are correct. That is the new Raquel.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And in another month, if Raquel doesn't have the Hot Tui girl on, nobody's going to listen to that either. You know, there's only so much you could talk about. I think that's why they keep suing each other, so they have new topic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they stay relevant.
Yeah.
She's not relevant. Jackie, you're not relevant.
No.
Done.
No,
she's not relevant.
Pack it up, girl. Pack it up.
She's not.
Supposedly, she has more money than any of them, so go up and live in your beautiful Hamptons house.
Exactly. You're a trust fund baby.
Mm-hmm.
Go live your life, girl.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And her husband's got a good job, so it's not like,
What's he, hedge fund guy?
Yeah.
I like him.
I do too. I feel bad for him.
I do
But
too.
you notice he wasn't on this season at all. Once or twice, maybe?
Think he was even on once or twice. I was thinking about that the other day. I
He
don't
don't want no
remember
part of
even
this.
seeing him in the background.
Thank God he wasn't at Louie's boys' night. If he was at Louie's boys' night, I would have felt so bad for him.
Oh, how horrible was that?
Oh my God.
Oh,
It
oh,
was bad.
I would have said, Louie, I'm sorry. I'm not going to make a video because to do something this wonderful, I really want to put some thought into it.
That would have been a very nice thing, cousin
Yeah,
Judy. I would have been like, you're out of your fucking mind.
And you know me, I'm not nice that often.
So then they start watching the finale, and they start with how Delores shows up at Margaret's house after she was at Teresa's house. And Teresa's watching it, and she says to, Delores, I've never seen you flip out like that before. I've never seen that
Dolores
happen.
said she didn't
And they've been friends since they were teenagers. I'm sorry, Cal.
Yes,
They've been
yes.
friends since teenagers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so she'd never seen her flip out like that. And then she also had mentioned that Margaret's dog that was on that episode, Bella, has since passed. So all the other ladies were also surprised to see how Delores act, because we know now why she acted that way, because, she was trying to play Teresa's side, and she didn't want Teresa to see that she was invited, and, she wanted to make a stand.
She didn't want Teresa. She knew what was going on, and she didn't want Teresa to know that she knew, because then Teresa would have been like, why didn't you tell me?
Right.
The whole thing. You're a bad friend. She
Right.
was lying. Dolores was lying. Her actions, the way that reaction was so unwarranted.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Really good memory. And I remember the most ridiculous things on earth. And I remember Delores. I remember them having a conversation about this. And I remember Delores being in the conversation. They were just talking about it after it happened. And it was just Delores mentioning, I'm glad I wasn't there, or something like that. I swear that happened. And if I have time, I will go back and find it.
I'm pretty sure at some point they showed a flashback of her saying that.
I really think that, but why wouldn't the producers have remembered that?
I don't know.
Because they always pull stuff out.
Yeah.
They show what they want to show, is basically what it comes down to.
Exactly.
Because now it's a he said, she said thing. It's a she said thing. And if they show that, then it's going to prove Margaret's right. And it's going to put really paint Dolores bad.
His reaction was out of line.
Completely.
And it's almost like Delores was trying to cover up for something else that we have no idea. You know what I mean? There was something wrong about that.
Yeah.
So after that scene happens, Delores says, well, I'm going to go check on Margaret and see how she's doing because of Bella.
Mm-hmm.
But I really think, because that's the only time she got up and really went over there.
Mm-hmm.
I really think she went over there because she wanted to see how that room was taking that reaction. And that's how she covered it up to Teresa. Like she wanted to see, what did the other girls think of that scene?
But she said, I'm going to go over and see Margaret because of the dog.
It had nothing to do with the dog. You could have talked to Margaret
Right.
after you were done recording.
Right.
Right.
You know how Margaret's doing because I know Delores loves animals, and I'm sure she's been in touch with Margaret since the dog passed away.
Yeah.
Delores was so out of line. That was a bad siege.
And for her to say, she can't even tell Teresa, I'm going to talk to Margaret about the last scene. She doesn't even have the balls to say that to Teresa. I have to go check on her for her dog. Like, grow a pair, Delores. You act all tough and godmother, but you're not. You're not.
So then when she walks over there, Melissa says to her, why did you act that way? Why did you react that way? You were invited. And Margaret says, well, we remember things differently. So Melissa did call her out on it when she came over, which I was glad.
It's a good way for Margaret to put it, because, that happens.
No, that's how Delores put it. Delores put it that way.
But then Margaret said the same thing. They both wound up saying, we remember it differently.
Yes, yes, they both did. You're right. Yeah. I just don't like that it happened and that she's really not owning it,
No, but I got to say, Margaret looks wonderful.
Fantastic.
It's all over my notes. She I don't know if she's drinking the blood of a little baby calf or something.
I
But
think she is.
that looks more than plastic surgery.
She is. Well, she's been
Skin.
honest.
She's Eastern European.
Yeah.
She's
Hungarian, right?
Hungarian, yeah. My grandmother was Slovak, and her sisters had that same type of skin. It was almost translucent.
Yeah.
No wrinkles. Yeah.
Well, she's had facelifts. I mean, it's not like
Oh,
she's done this.
Yeah.
Had everything done. But that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Whatever plastic surgeon she's going to should have her on billboards.
Well, listen, Margaret, Delores, they both had their facelifts done by Cadillac in Wall Township. Delores was on his billboard on 34. Yeah, and Margaret said she went to
for plastic surgery.
I swear. And Margaret was on
famous
Watch What
for that.
Happens Live right after her facelift, and Andy said, "You look amazing." And he said, "Did you?" He probably asked her, "Did you go to Bill Aydin?" And she said, "No, I went to Dolores' guy Cadillac in Wall Township." As a matter of fact, he's been a bartender on Watch What Happens Live.
The
Cadillac.
plastic surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some. I mean, listen, you got Spring Lake and Seagirt right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
you
plenty
just
of money.
don't think of Wall, though. I mean, if you said Spring Lake, but Wall,
Yeah,
They're
I mean, it's
neighbors.
right there, and
Yeah.
it's on 34, which is like an industrial area where there's a lot of office buildings. Is what
speaking of offices, in front of James J. Leonard's office this weekend, and let me tell you something. Go as fast as you can because it's like the worst neighborhood in all of Atlantic City.
Is it really?
Yeah, massage parlors and crackheads, and
We're going to stop and take a picture.
We have to.
Yes, we are going to stop and take a picture.
We have to.
100%.
All right, I'll tell you what. Whoever gets there last will pick the other ones up, and we'll take a spin.
Is it? Oh yeah, it's not near Harrah's because Harrah's is in the
it's
marina.
down by. No, it's down kind of between Caesars and Trop.
Okay, and that's a big space.
Oh, it's a big thoroughfare.
Yeah. Without any casinos between those two.
Yeah, we'll definitely stop and take a picture.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to see the husband Saturday night, Wendy, me, and Gina, and we're at Harrah's, and we're super excited.
We got meet and greet.
Oh, and let me just make a public service announcement. I love my PSAs because I'm reading the comments on our social media. Nobody is paying us, people. Margaret's not paying us. Joe and Melissa Gorga aren't paying us. We just don't fucking like Teresa because she's an asshole. And Louie is creepy. That's all.
They're paying us?
I swear you have to see the comments that that Margaret and the Gorgas are paying us because of what we say.
Do they not watch the show?
Exactly. What are you watching?
Listen, it's
Teresa
it's just the tree stumps that are saying it. That's all.
Listen, I was at a party this weekend, and a lot of people there were from Staten Island, and there was one Teresa fan, and I looked at him and I said, like, how could you be so stupid?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know this guy. He was related to someone. So how could you be so stupid? Honestly, I've watched that show since the beginning. I was a big fan of hers. I was a fan of hers when she went to jail. She lost me with the Louie thing. I mean, there were times I didn't like her as much as I used to, but I never disliked her. Now
you always knew what she was up to, though. You always knew she was setting Melissa up with Stripper Gate.
We knew that Melissa thing and her, even when they were friendly and did the trip. Remember, they went on the Ultimate Girls trip together. They no, I'm sorry.
Even on that show, Teresa was like, "Why is she here? She's not an OG." But she had already started dating Louie by then. We just hadn't seen Louie. Yeah, she was dating Louie when we
saw his notes. Trip. Remember, he sent her those notes that she opened up one every day.
Love bombing.
And he said to Joe Gorga, "Let's go there. Let's go crash their trip." And Joe was like, "We can't do that." Joe was probably like, "Dude, Bravo would kill us. Like, you can't just do that." But yes, he asked Joe Gorga to go crash their trip.
Dubai did that. You watched Dubai?
I don't. Wendy does.
I do. Yeah.
Do you remember when
Sergio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved him. You know what, Sergio? Come here. I'll support you. He's so cute. I don't even want to sleep with him. I just want to look at him. I want a
You're
nice.
so funny.
If there's any gay
Oh.
men out there that need a beard, I know you don't need beards anymore, but if you do, be at Harry's Saturday night. Nice house, got a pool. But you
Just ask
gotta
for
be
cousin
gay.
Gina.
Gotta be gay though. Like Andy Cohen. Like Andy.
There you go. Did you guys hear Jenn Aydin when they were showing the scene where Rachel was carrying, like when Danielle and Melissa were going over to Rachel's house in the last episode, and she was carrying, it looked like a charcuterie board, but it wasn't that big, but whatever. I don't think that those women eat that much anyway. They're all
Right.
30 pounds.
Did you see
And,
the charcuterie board in front of Teresa this last episode?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I know, that looked beautiful.
That was like a $400 charcuterie board if you had to
For
go buy it.
sure.
Nobody touched
But
it.
they're showing Rachel carrying this thing, and you hear Jenn Aydin go, "Cheap fuck."
Oh, I
Did you
didn't hear
catch
that.
that?
No, I
No.
didn't hear that. I didn't hear
Does
that.
Jenn Aydin not watch herself back? Does she know what humility is?
I don't know. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What is she talking?" Her two friends are coming over, and she put together a charcuterie board. Cheap fuck. Like, what should she have done, Jen? Had it catered? Like, she's
And
such
Danielle
a jerk.
is right about everything she says.
Yeah, I agree.
I remember when Melissa was mentioning about how she was down the shore and one of Louie's nieces came up to her. So said, be afraid, like watch your back. And when Teresa watched that, she said, I'm going to let little Louie know what his cousin is saying.
Yep.
Oh,
So bring more good job. You're going to bring another kid into this cesspool that you call a family.
Yep.
Into the drama and the havoc of your life.
First off, Joe Giudice should come and kick Louie's ass.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Did you see?
Well, he responded. He responded. Did you see?
Him. That
I don't think it was him either.
He can't write like that. He can't put a sentence together. That was
Nope.
Gia. He even said that Gia does his social media.
Yep.
I think she told him she was doing it, but I don't think he was behind it. And let me tell you something. This guy that's putting that fight together, Joe Giudice, is going to fight.
Antonio Sabato Jr.
Yeah, but guess what? I know the guy that's putting that fight together because I used to be in the celebrity boxing world.
Yeah.
And he doesn't pay his people. I saw Danny Bonaducci almost beat the shit out of him one night. And you don't mess with Danny. He wasn't going to pay Danny.
I remember when Danny Bonaducci did the celebrity fight.
Yeah. He told Danny, say he was going to give Danny, say, $1,000, and then he says, "Oh, well, here's 800. He didn't bring in as many people." And Danny's like, "No, this was that wasn't the amount of money. I'm just pulling it."
Right.
Damon did that for every single fight. I saw him do it to John Wayne Bobbitt. I saw him do it to Beetlejuice and Dominic when they had that fight. Yeah, believe me, I saw him almost get his ass kicked a few times.
Wow.
So I guarantee you he screws over Joe.
When is that
hope
fight?
not. Because Antonio Sabato Jr. doesn't need the money. Well, I don't know if Joe Giudice needs the money either. But...
Well, Joe must need it. I mean,
I'm sure he's not going to
give him money. I think Teresa's giving him money. I think that's why that statement got put out.
I do too. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do whatever he has to do for Teresa. Because one, he's probably, he didn't show that he felt guilt, but I'm sure he's remorseful over what he did and how everything played out. For his daughters, he's going to do it.
Yeah. And I think he would do anything for his daughters.
Yeah.
But what he should do for his daughters is get them out of that house.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't because he can't go back to the U.S. So what is he going to do?
And I'm
what
sure
can he do? I'm sure he's got family in the U.S. that could do something.
Yeah, but he'd have to do something legally. And
that takes too long.
Look at Gia. Gia's right there with her mother, spewing the same bullshit that her mother is.
Yep.
So Gia wouldn't allow him to do anything if he tried. Thankfully, those two other girls are away at school. Adriana, hopefully she goes away to school too at some point because they need to get away from Louie.
Well, how old is Adriana? She's still in high school, right?
I think she probably just finished her freshman year because I think Teresa said during this season that she was a freshman.
Yeah, okay.
In high school.
That's the one we have to worry about.
Yeah.
If there's a man saying my daughters should wear thongs when they go on a Greek island, Seriously?
Yeah.
Listen, women should be able to wear whatever they want. It's the men that need to change the way they view us. But that's a whole nother thing. But
These
you
are
don't talk
children.
like that about somebody else's child
Right.
while you're wearing their grandfather's pajamas.
Oh,
This Louie is an evil, evil man. And
yeah.
he is going to get Teresa locked up again. Guarantee. I could see it happening from all the shyster stuff I hear he's doing.
Yep.
She gave him $100,000 to pay off her car, and he didn't do it. And he had the car stolen. That's a story I heard.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah. Yeah.
The story about the $300,000 he owes somebody else, allegedly.
Well, her
Yeah, the party
earrings.
planner.
Allegedly, her
Earrings. I didn't
earrings
hear
were sold.
anything
She
about
sold her
earrings.
earrings.
I didn't hear that.
Allegedly. Yeah.
She sold them or had them, or they were stolen.
No, she sold them to get money, allegedly.
Well, if she's allegedly selling jewelry, she is hard up.
Yeah,
And
things aren't
guess
looking
what?
good.
Your behavior just got your ass out of a job.
Right.
Well, there's definitely that scene that we didn't get to see that they show us the clip for, and they were arguing about money. And there was another scene that they didn't really follow up with where Delores and Danielle were talking about how she's crying every day and there's a lot of chaos in the house. And we never got any follow up on that.
I think Danielle said something about chaos in the house when she was at Rachel's house talking to her and Melissa, because then Melissa went home and talked to Joe. I think.
Right.
Isn't it interesting that they wouldn't let them drink alcohol while they were there?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they asked for who asked for a drink?
I think Teresa and Jenn, like that room, I think they were like, can we just at least have an espresso martini? And they were like, no alcohol.
That is weird. Maybe because of what happened with Danielle the week before?
I'm sure it was to lower the possibility of any outbursts.
It was
Yeah.
also
I mean, they already
in
had
the
them.
early
They already had them
afternoon.
separated, which was a
Right.
good thing. But I guess just for safety protocol.
So then when we see the scene where Louie's in the bedroom and he's saying what he said about Margaret's son and Margaret's family, Delores says what Louie said was wrong. And Teresa starts yelling at Delores, don't you stick up for her in front of me. Delores says, I have to tell you, I can't defend Louie. But,
Yep.
I
mean, come on.
Delores really stood firm on that because that's like I
Yes.
said, I just watched it like an hour ago. And
Yeah.
she was saying, no way, there is no way that you could justify to me that was
Right.
the right thing to do.
And she
you
says-
don't talk about somebody's child.
And she says, I can stick up for him like you want me to, even with my own son, what they're
Right.
saying about my own son, but this I can't. And
Yeah.
that's when Teresa backed down. That's when Teresa said, you're right, I'll make sure he apologizes. When she brought up her own son, Delores, because I think she was this close to saying what really happened.
And
I
we all
honestly-
know what happened because it hit the news.
I mean, what happened? Like, the business just folded like all of his other businesses, and he
Right.
didn't tell Frankie.
Folded.
Right.
He went to work and there was no place. The doors were locked. They couldn't
Right.
even get in to get their own thing. Because this hit the news immediately when it happened, way
Yeah.
before the reunion, that it might have been Gia's boyfriend too.
Well, he's working for the new company with little Louie, right, Wendy?
Yeah.
You read that
Yes.
somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a real smart businessman. Let's
Yeah.
take two kids in their early 20s right out of college and put them in charge of a business. In other
Where's
words,
this
it's some
kid's
kind of-
parents?
It's a shell. It's a shell thing that
Yes.
they're doing.
Yep.
Yes.
So Louis
Yep.
is doing data mining or something else, allegedly. Everything I said is allegedly. Just like Jenn,
Exactly.
for data mining.
Yep. Yep.
And,
Yeah.
everything that comes along with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And Delores backed down. Teresa when Teresa was like, all right. And then Delores just backed down.
Yeah.
Delores, you know what? Hey, even ask my question on Watch What Happens Live.
Yes,
That
they
was
did.
a thrill. That was a thrill, Kel. I'm laying in bed, and I didn't get to bed because I had to watch the show. But basically I said, when is Dolores going to stop playing both sides of the fence? And
Mhm.
she doubled down that she's not doing that.
Yep.
She is a liar. She's
She
lying.
she is a
And
liar.
Dolores, I get it, because I have friends that I've been friends with for 50 years, but my friends wouldn't do anything like Teresa does, because I would have dropped them a long time ago. You don't have to stay friends with assholes.
Right.
Everybody else has dropped Teresa.
Right.
What's the one? What's Caroline Manzo's sister-in-law?
Dina.
Dina,
Not
Jacqueline.
Dina and Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
Dina. I heard Dina doesn't talk to her barely at all anymore.
No, and it was something that happened between Louie and Dina's husband. Joe Gorga said it on the air, and then he apologized for it later, because the poor guy David's probably shitting his pants now, thinking Louie's going to come after him because of what Joe Gorga said. Why is everybody scared of this guy? What does he do?
Everybody got his ass kicked from.
Well, that was from the ex-husband.
I have to say allegedly, right? Because that guy was convicted of that.
I mean, that he was found guilty.
Yeah, I think he was
found guilty. And it's interesting. So that's really the rift between Dina and Caroline, and Dina and Dolores. Caroline and Dolores wrote letters of character reference letters
Dolores
on Tommy's behalf.
Dolores messed up. You have to do that, Dolores. You didn't have to do that. Be a woman, Dolores. Women should be sticking together. You don't write that. You don't write a letter of support to a man who beat the shit out of another woman, because she got hit.
I don't think they knew that he did it. I don't believe that they knew he did it. I don't believe that at least Dolores would write that letter. I would hope that Caroline wouldn't, but it's her brother-in-law, and we know
That's
how
her
she's
sister.
I know. Listen, I know, but they're estranged. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's no defending that. There's no defending that.
I heard
they shouldn't have wrote the letters.
And today I heard the Manzos are in tax trouble or something.
Is it on the brownstone though? It's not on their personal property.
Brownstone. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that,
that
it's
happens
like
in business.
$100,000 and $1,000. That's probably 1 year of taxes.
It is. No, I was reading. It was state taxes. It was like $128,000.
They were supposed to be making monthly payments towards it, right? And they weren't.
But
so
it's
it accumulated.
Crazy amount of tax for Paterson, New Jersey.
Well, it's the brownstone though.
I don't drive through Paterson.
Yeah, no, I don't want to either.
But it's a commercial property, know?
Yeah.
I do want to go to the Paterson Falls though.
Oh, I've been there.
I want to go there.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And there used to be a guy years ago, you too young, his name was Johnny Dirt, and he was a club promoter, and he used to dive into the Passaic River. It was the first day of spring or something every year into that nasty, nasty river. Yeah, Johnny Dirt. Look it up.
I would. I am going to look that up.
He was a big club promoter up there, and it was a big
hysterical
thing. Yeah.
All right. Did you guys see the TikTok about Teresa's fake Chanel top at the last dinner?
I didn't see the TikTok, but Margaret called her out for wearing the fake Chanel. I didn't see the TikTok about it.
I saw it before Margaret said something.
Well, she said it during the thing, but we just saw it afterwards. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, that was funny. I mean, she's been accused of wearing fake before, but
and he's been accused of buying fake Cartier.
The bracelets.
Yeah.
What did the TikTok say? What was it about?
That Chanel top that she wore to the Last Supper, whatever they're calling it, and that it was fake. And they showed like the real one, next to the fake one. And I mean, listen, I have a lot of negative things to say about Teresa, but her wearing fake Chanel, I got nothing to say about that. Because I would, because I would wear it.
You don't wear it on television. That's okay. When you buy a stolen item,
well, it's just a knockoff. It's just somebody else who created something that looked an imitation of.
It's still theft.
I guess it's a theft of
design. One thing if you and I wear it, Teresa to wear it on a TV show that's going to draw, 600,000 people?
Yeah.
Dumb move. Move. But then again,
she got called out.
She's not been known for her intelligence.
Exactly. Exactly.
Danielle also said that after, watching everything back, she's decided now as a 39-year-old mother of two that she's never, ever going to let herself act like that again and react that way. I mean,
And that's how you learn from your mistakes.
yes, I hope, listen, I love Danielle, but I feel like that fiery personality, I don't know. I hope she can do it.
I
love
would have
her.
reacted the same way she did. I would have reacted the same way Danielle did.
I love her bouginess.
Yeah. And listen, Teresa's been doing that since the beginning of the show. So although Danielle can look at it and feel a certain way about seeing herself react that way,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
learn from it, that's
Yes.
great, Danielle. But just know that we understand where you were coming from. We
Yeah.
still support you, and I would have done the same damn
Yeah.
thing.
Except I would have kept hitting her with it. I wouldn't have just smacked her once. You don't talk about my husband. Talk about my husband.
And
Sorry.
Jennifer pushed her first at the stupid Tulum party. She pushed her first.
Yes,
So
yes.
my father always told me, don't start a fight, but if somebody starts with you, finish it.
End it. Yep.
That's right.
Right. And that's what Jenn Fessler was admitting to, too, that she was sticking up for Jenn Aydin, because then after she saw it back and saw what really happened, she saw a totally different story. And then Jenn Fessler at this, watch party, she was finally seeing what happened after she left, because she left really early on.
Oh yeah,
for that
Last
sit
Supper,
down. Yeah. And Danielle
that was a
saying,
dumb move.
Well, listen, I don't think she's cut out for it, to be honest with you. I mean, everyone has said that. Like, that's just not, Margaret didn't really falter for it. Delores was like, this is just not who she is. That's not her thing.
I think she knew what Margaret was going to say about Jackie inviting the ex over to her house. And she had seen what happened already.
Yeah.
And thought, this is an even bigger bomb that's going to be dropped. And this is going to get crazy. And I'm not here for it.
Could be.
I would have left if I knew that.
I wouldn't have left. Maybe go in the next room and watch it from afar, but I wouldn't have left.
Never, ever would I have left. But you know what? I think that cemented her into not coming back.
Probably.
If I was Andy or if I was the producers, the only ones coming back were the ones in the fun room minus Fessler. Danielle, Rachel, Melissa, and Margaret.
Yep. I agree. And did you hear Matt Rogers?
No, wait. I want to throw Jenn Aydin in there. I want Jenn Aydin to come back. I want to kick her butt.
No, I don't want
if she comes back, she
to be chopped down at the ankles.
She could come back, but it's got to be without Teresa, because
can't come back.
Teresa can't come back, and Jenn Aydin needs to stand on her own because she can't. So let's see that.
I don't think Jenn Aydin should come back, especially not after how she tormented Danielle. And, Danielle even says she regrets having her in her house with her children and being around her children, because she really was vile.
I mean, she was awful.
She was horrible. So I don't think she deserves another chance. I don't think she should come back.
The only reason I would throw her in there, Wendy, is because we need a villain.
We could get a villain.
She would be, I would love to see her get chopped off at the ankles.
Yeah.
Because from her first show that she was ever on, where she was talking about her mansion with 17 bedrooms that has the best view on the East Coast, she needs to get chopped down. She does. She's got to go.
How come nobody at this watch party pseudo reunion brought up the fact that Bill Aydin had the same damn surgery as Nate?
Did they know at that point?
They had to know. They knew at that point.
I mean, his wife obviously knew.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same reason they didn't talk about the bloggers that Jenn Aydin and Teresa gave all the info to. When all Teresa did was scream about giving info to bloggers, when it was her. The blogger is telling us. I talked on the phone to Teresa. I talked on the phone to Margaret. They emailed me everything. They sent the screeners.
Not to Margaret, to Jenn Aydin.
I apologize.
Yeah.
Jenn Aydin. They took the screeners and gave them to bloggers. Screeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why they don't see the show. They see the show when we see the show.
Right.
Because of Jenn Aydin. But nobody's talking about that.
Didn't John Fuda say at some point during the season, like, I think Louie projects on me. I think the things he's doing, he's saying I'm doing. Like he even said, he's like, maybe he sells drugs and that's why he's saying I sell drugs. And what you just said, it's true. Like Teresa was the one feeding the bloggers and she's saying Margaret was doing it. Nobody's come out and said that Margaret's done this, by the way. And Teresa keeps saying, I got proof, black and white, day. August 13th, 2024. We still do not have proof. We have still not seen proof that anything she's claiming about Margaret happened.
You know what her proof was? The subpoena.
Oh my God, who gives a shit?
Yeah, and she said that they should have arrested her. She didn't show up. No, her lawyer called your lawyer and said she doesn't know anything. I've had that happen to me. I've worked because of my job. I got subpoenaed all the time.
Yeah.
No, didn't know anything. Forgot.
Yep.
Don't remember.
Yeah.
You know?
And it was a domestic violence situation between the ex and Louie. Like, what the hell is she gonna know about that? She doesn't. She didn't know them at the time.
He had multiple charges against him from women.
I think so, but I think Vanessa Reiser was the only one who was actually suing him and trying to get a restraining order. Shockingly.
What kind of idiot dates a man that has that history? All right. When I first saw the video of, what do they call that video? The warrior video.
Warrior video.
I've done a lot of management training. I was director of human resources for 45 years. Okay. Did a lot of training, a lot of management training. I've done the S training. I've done all kinds of trainings. And the minute I saw it, I was like, he's out of training. He's going somewhere. He's doing some type of week-long, month-long training program where he's trying to be a better man. And it looks like he's going because of an issue, to make a relationship better. It didn't look like a work type. But I recognized it right away. And I don't know why they were making a big deal about it.
Well, because he looks like a lunatic.
Yeah.
He looks like a lunatic.
I mean, the no shirt, the guys behind him, like, ooh,
Yeah.
People do that all the time. I've been to trainings where we've done that kind of stuff. That's why it didn't.
Did you go shirtless, cousin? Did you go
shirtless? No, you want to hear a great story? We did this trust walk where we were at a hotel indoor pool where you have your coworker blindfolded and you walk them around the pool so that they know that you could trust you. I pushed my friend in the pool and I said, "Don't trust anybody," and that's the truth.
That's great.
Was he pissed?
Yeah.
Was he pissed?
No, not too bad.
Yeah, probably because it was a guy. If you did that to a girl and you screwed up her hair,
it's a different story.
1981, 82. Things were different back then. The 1980s, if you remember them, you weren't there.
Yeah.
So then at the end, Melissa says that she feels relieved after everything. Like she's, she feels like she's done with this chapter. She doesn't have anything to say. She had said her piece at the reunion the year prior when, Teresa said, I'm never going to see you again and you're done. And I feel that way for her too. I could feel that she has this like weight lifted off her shoulders. And Teresa says that she feels vindicated. I mean, I just don't know where or how she could feel vindicated.
She's not vindicated, so she shouldn't feel vindicated.
Exactly.
But she's delusional, so she's going to say she feels vindicated.
Just like that guy I saw at that party on Saturday. I had a bunch of parties this weekend. I said, "You're an idiot. What are you watching? What show are you watching?"
Seriously. Did you hear Delores say after they showed the scene about Jenn, saying the thing about Nate with the boobs? And Delores is like, "What's the big deal? That wasn't a big deal."
The surgery meeting that
he had
when Jenn Aydin said to Danielle, your husband's got the boobs or whatever, and Danielle
and you wear the
across
bra.
the table and you wear the bra, and Dolores's reaction was, "What's the big deal, Jenn? That wasn't terrible," or whatever she said. It's like, what?
The surgery?
Then when Frank Catania Sr. called Paulie Buzz Lightyear, you flipped out. He fucking does look like Buzz Lightyear, Paulie. So, and she flipped out about that.
I don't know what she sees in him.
Me neither.
I don't know what she sees
but
in him.
It wasn't terrible that Jenn Aydin brought up the fact that the guy had to have breast reduction surgery. Like,
or was Delores referring to the fact that the surgery in itself is nothing to make fun of?
She said, "What's the big deal? What you said wasn't that bad." That's what she said.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not like she said he had the surgery. She said he's got the boobs and you wear the bra, implying that he still has them. Like it wasn't. There was never any.
Or just making
talk.
fun of his physical appearance.
Absolutely. Uncalled for. Uncalled for.
Like
Yeah.
you were not attractive before your husband did all that plastic surgery on you.
She still isn't. I mean, she's
Agreed.
not ugly, but she's not, she's no supermodel.
No.
And her husband didn't do the surgery. She went to Turkey and had a stranger do it. Remember that? The
Her
job?
nose, but I think everything else, the liposuction, whatever she's doing to her body, because she is snatched, let's face it.
Oh,
But it's all
Ozempic.
plastic surgery.
Yeah.
Oh, and she is on Ozempic. That's right. That's right.
No,
She's definitely
Manjaro.
Manjaro. That's right.
Manjaro.
Yeah. And
can
then
I
and then
mention
Jenn
something
and Delores.
just something about semantics. I don't know. Somebody must have mentioned it. You know how Louie keeps saying he didn't call Margaret's son at work?
Yeah.
You know why he's saying that? He didn't call the work number. He called his cell phone.
No, I thought they said
No, it was the work
office.
number. It was
Yeah.
definitely the work number.
Yeah.
It was
No,
not
I
the cell
thought-
phone.
I
No.
thought he called his cell phone.
No. It
No.
was his work
Okay,
number.
I'm wrong. Good. I'm glad I'm wrong because that makes it worse.
It does make it worse because
It makes it a
those
lot
spoof
worse.
phone calls were only going to cell phones. They weren't going to landlines, and that was a landline. And that's what they kept saying over and over again, and then showing the piece of paper with the phone number. This is a landline, not a cell phone number. Because those
okay.
phone calls were only going to cell phones.
Okay, I got you. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then Jenn and Delores talking about accountability, why accountability is so important in front of Teresa. Like, what do
Yeah.
yeah. Like you're all anybody
It's like the
who's
blind.
exactly.
Blind leading the
Dolores
blind.
went from one of my favorites to one of my least favorite.
Totally agree with you.
And you said the baseball games this weekend?
Tomorrow.
And they're not filming.
They're not filming, and Teresa's in Greece still, right?
Yeah.
Are they definitely not? No, they're not filming.
No, they're not filming. It's not going to be filmed.
I hope she gets it. I mean, I do give Delores credit for all of her charity work. So I do hope she gets a good turnout for that reason.
Melissa, well, yeah, I'm sure Melissa will go.
Are they back
with
from Italy?
Teresa not there?
I think so.
Teresa might be
Yeah.
back though.
Although,
I mean,
just saw,
how much trade vacation does she get? Because they're not paying for these vacations they go on.
How are they going on them then?
Influencer trades.
interesting.
That's
I saw
how Jeff
that.
Lewis just went to that spa.
Oh, that's right. He did. That's right. He did.
I saw that John Fuda just had his gallbladder taken out.
Oh, is that why he was in the hospital?
Yeah, he had his gallbladder taken out. He went to the hospital because he was having
I
pains.
thought they did that because she was talking about it. I thought he did that like while they were filming.
No, it just happened.
She had it on Instagram. She put a picture of him laying there and said something, but didn't really say where he was and why he was there. Or he was in the hospital, but
Right.
And then
Okay.
I was watching her on TikTok because she talks about like what's going on in her day, and she just went on and explained everything that had happened. So he just had his gallbladder taken out. So I mean,
she's pregnant.
I know. I don't know if I don't know if she wants to come back.
I bet you he doesn't want her to come back unless Teresa and Louie are gone.
Right.
Why? Because they don't need the money.
No.
Third season paycheck is a little too good to throw away.
Yeah. But
I mean,
I don't
that's where
think
you're
if
getting
Teresa and
6
Louie come
figures.
back, I don't think if Teresa and Louie come back, they'll come back. They don't
Like
need
they
the
don't
money.
need it. Yeah. I mean, she's got those two beautiful little girls. She's having another baby. She doesn't need this.
Nope.
And I would bet Teresa needs it because I would bet that's the only paycheck they have come in.
She definitely needs it, Teresa. She definitely needs it. I don't think the Gorgas need it. I mean, I think that Danielle always wanted to be, famous. Like, I think she
Yeah.
kind of admits that, but I don't think if it jeopardized their marriage that Nate and Danielle would continue doing it. And if Teresa and Louie come back, it's stressful. It's just like what Matt Rogers said. Teresa is married to a dark, creepy guy. So if she's on the show, her storyline is going to be dark and creepy.
Mm-hmm.
He told Andy, he was talking about when Delores went into the fun room and he
Who's
said
he on with?
he was on Watch What
Bowen.
Happens Live.
With Matt Bowen.
Yeah.
No,
with
not
Bowen.
what's his name?
But
It's not
they just
Matt.
called him Bowen. I don't
Bowen.
know what
Yeah,
his first
yeah.
name is. Yeah.
Okay.
They
I
have a
gotta watch that. I didn't
podcast
see that.
together.
It was a good episode. And he was saying, like, when you could tell when Delores walked into that room, her shoulders dropped, like she was happy, she was smiling. And he said to Andy, that's your cast next year.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in that room plus Delores. That's your cast.
That's what
like,
he said.
basically get rid of Teresa, Jackie, and Jennifer.
You notice that the guests are finally having enough chutzpah to say,
Yes.
get rid of Teresa.
Yes.
Because before they all knew that Andy loved her and they would never say that to him because nobody wants to piss Andy off.
Yeah.
But you got to tell Andy the truth because he's living in this glass bubble. And if everybody keeps, it's like, what was the Emperor in New Clothes? Everybody keeps telling him he's going to continue to believe it. He needs a little bit of reality, Andy. And now that he has children and that hit home, that comment that
Louie made.
Slimy Louie made about Margaret's son, why would he have to say that? Why? I don't understand.
And Teresa just defended him until finally Delores got through to her at some point, but she just kept defending him. It's like, what are you doing?
Well, I did listen to Gabrielle talk about that, and she said that Teresa called her that night.
You're saying Gabrielle, Melissa's old nose.
Yes,
right. Okay.
yes. Yeah, she said that Teresa called her and she was like so upset and beside herself because she was begging production to not air it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And she was like, she knew how bad it was. And, she didn't get her way.
Dumb as a stump, Teresa is.
And the thing is that
that's why they call themselves tree stumps. Because
they call themselves tree huggers. I think Margaret came up with the tree stump thing.
Yeah.
In the reunion, right?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But I think for a long time, people just believed what Teresa said. So, and producers always did her a solid.
Mm-hmm.
But I think after the hair pull with Margaret, all bets were off with production. So they're not going to protect her anymore.
Yeah.
Too bad they protected her back in the day when she was setting Melissa up for Strippergate. They definitely were protecting her then.
And that's what pisses me off is that Kim D went to the dark side.
Oh, yeah.
Kim D
is going to go to any side that's going to give her attention.
I know. Did I send you the video Kim D did for my girlfriend, the cameo?
Yeah. I think we posted it, right? We posted it on Instagram and Facebook.
I don't think we did post it.
Really? We have to do that. Your friend said it's okay, right?
Yeah, I believe she did. So.
Okay. I might read Kim D's book, though, I'm not going to lie.
What's it about?
I don't like that she's...
yeah, that sounded good.
Yeah, it did sound good.
I'll get it.
I love all that shit. Like, I have all the Skinny D'Amato books. You know that attorney in AC, Paul D'Amato, and his uncle was Skinny D'Amato, and he had the 500 Club, where the Rat Pack used to go. I have all those books.
There's another book. I have to look upstairs. There's another guy that wrote a book about that from he owned or he worked at the 500 Club. That was a good book too. I think I have that upstairs. I'll look for it and I'll bring it this weekend.
Okay.
But Atlantic City, that's what I tell people, watch Boardwalk Empire because Atlantic City, I've been living down here 30 plus years and the biggest mistake they made was kicking the mob out of Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Because that was a decent city when they were here. They knew how to run it. And now the crooked politicians and the crooked this one and that one, it's just a mess. It's really a mess. Every day there's a shooting.
Did you ever go to GNS Market when it was there?
G&S?
Yeah. When Eric and I first started dating in 1999, it was right in the city. It was right near that 7-Eleven.
We don't go to Atlantic City.
It was GNS Market.
You live here, you go to the casino and then you go home.
Oh, we used to go to this place, GNS Market. They had the best sandwich. It was called a Brooklyn. It was prosciutto and sharp provolone with roasted red peppers and balsamic vinegar.
That sounds
so
good. We have a place
and then they
down
had
near
the best
Primo's.
pasta fazool.
We have a place down near Primo's that has stuff like that. But if we go to Atlantic City for sandwiches, it's usually just the White House.
White House. Yeah. We went to White House too, yeah.
Yeah, Atlantic City has some good food, but honestly, don't go anywhere in Atlantic City. It's not a good place.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay, so this is it for New Jersey. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. We're going to have to wait until we hear from Andy or Bravo Andy. And,
I have one thing to say.
What do you have to say?
Rachel Fuda. Hot dog lips. I'm still laughing. I'm still laughing.
Excellent line. Excellent line. The flash to Melissa's face to see her reaction was amazing.
I was doing Melissa imitations practicing before. You know how she was standing like this?
Yes,
Get it
yes.
right?
But the flower arrangement, I'm sorry. The
Oh.
delivery of the flower arrangement, I'm so sorry
All
for the loss of your
season.
dignity. Just that is a mic drop moment. I mean,
It eclipsed the table drop.
100%. 100%. I mean, dare I say Marge is the queen of Jersey after that.
She is the queen. You're right, Kel. Number one. And that's the
took it.
group that should come back. Was that
Yes.
group down there minus Jenn Fessler.
I don't know if I'd give her Queen of Jersey.
With that
I mean,
move.
that was a good move.
You're going to give it to Teresa?
No, I'm not giving it to Teresa, but that doesn't mean I'm giving it to Margaret either.
Danielle?
I just think with that move.
No, not Danielle. Listen.
Danielle is my rising star.
I love Danielle.
Love her.
I love Rachel.
Love.
Me too. I honestly,
Rachel?
everyone in that room, I'm down with. I don't even care if they bring Jenn Fessler back. She's got to be a friend of though, because she can't.
No, she
We just
can't
need a
hold
friend
the.
up.
She can't hold the.
It's
both.
too
I mean,
much for her.
There's nothing to hold. We should give a pizza or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But those ladies, man, they put up with a lot of shit with Teresa this year, and Melissa should get triple the salary for having to deal with that girl. I don't
All
know how
these
she has
years.
dealt with her since the day she met her brother. God bless Joe putting up with his sister like that. I'm so glad she's out of his life.
Somebody said something on social media today about him, you know, maybe if he didn't pick his wife over his sister. And I have to stop. I know I have to stop commenting, but I'm like, that's his wife and she's a good wife.
She's a very good wife. Where
did the
are
right
these people
thing.
commenting on TikTok?
Facebook, not on our stuff. I mean, people are commenting on our stuff too. That was not our stuff. That was on some Real Housewives page.
Yeah.
But I loved it when the people were like, you must be getting paid. I'm like, oh yeah, we're getting paid.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder where Melissa's old nose is going to go. She still has more stuff.
Well, her and Chrissy Ball said that they may continue. They want to still work together.
Listen to Balls' last one. I didn't hear it. I was listening to Velvet Rope this week.
Yeah,
but
I'll still listen to it because I want to know. Like, I want to hear what's coming out.
I haven't favorited it. Yeah,
I just want to know, and then especially to see what Bravo chooses to do, because if all this stuff keeps coming out about Teresa talking to bloggers and they let her come back, listen, just give her a spinoff. They shouldn't let her do anything. They should just fire her from the network.
I don't think she deserves a spinoff at this point. After
she
what
doesn't.
Louie said, nope,
she doesn't. But give her one, and let the rest of the ladies carry Jersey. Because let's see her fan base show up for her.
I agree. She has a fan base. I really don't. Like I said, that one person on Saturday that I saw, most everybody can see her through her lies, because she doesn't shut up. She just steamrolls. Okay,
that's it.
She just steamrolls. She doesn't let you talk. No, you're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. Here it is. Here's proof. Jackie told you that she had this woman. Oh, it's okay, Jackie. I know you hated me. I know you didn't go to the blog. I know that's all you do is have her at your house.
Yeah.
It nauseated me.
She's too stupid to hold a conversation, so she just repeats herself over and over and over again. And then just basically to exhaust the other person into not talking anymore.
Now, the Watch What Happens Live, they had the Teresa imitator.
Yes.
Let's hire her.
Yeah.
Andy, hire her to do Teresa. How great would that be?
I told the husbands they should get her to open for them down in Atlantic City.
Yes.
That's genius, Wendy. That's genius.
Yep.
Oh, how great would it be?
That'd be hysterical.
What are we doing for 2 hours?
Is the show 2 hours?
I don't know. I'm just, most comedy shows are an hour and a half to 2 hours. I'm wondering, do these guys do comedy, or do they just get up and take questions?
Last time we went, Kelly and I went to this 2 years ago, and Joe does a little comedy. He does stand up, and I saw him do stand up in Princeton I
Yeah.
looked, it was in October. And then the other guys came out and they did like questions. Like they asked, they took questions from the audience.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the
I
wives
w-
came out.
Yeah,
There's still tickets on sale.
I know.
I know, because we were telling Lori she should come with us.
Seats. Yeah. The seats right near us, they're like for $50, but there's no meet and greet with it. It's just a seat. Like maybe about 10 rows back, like behind us or wherever.
I wonder if Lori would want to do that.
Lori doesn't want to go.
Lori doesn't want to go. I keep trying to rope her in.
Yeah, she doesn't want to go.
I know.
She's
And it's not
watching
like
the show now, though, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah, she's watching the old episodes, so we might start recapping the old episodes.
It's medicine.
I don't. Do you?
I
Wendy?
tried to watch it. I couldn't watch it. It was
Wendy?
unwatchable for me.
Try it again. You know
Because
what?
I love
I know
Phaedra.
she
Watching
loves
the-
it.
I hate Phaedra.
I love Phaedra. I love Phaedra.
Hate her.
Well, do you hate
I
her because
hate
of how
her.
she is on Married to Medicine?
No, I'll tell you why I hate Phaedra. I hate Phaedra because she should be, I would have had her ass arrested. She told that Candy and her husband were going to drug her and have sex with her.
I know.
That's
I
what she
watched
said.
it.
We
I
all
watched it.
saw it. We all saw it. She's back on the show.
I know. I agree. I do agree.
That
The only
is-
reason she's back is because Candy left. She would.
Well,
they
no,
would
She's,
never
broke.
she's back because Kenya got kicked out. That's why
right,
she's back.
but I'm saying if Candy were still there, there's no way she'd be
no,
back.
there's no way she'd be back. You're right.
Wait, she was on Married to Medicine when Candy was on Atlanta.
Yeah.
Sorry. And she was on that other show. She was horrible. I hated it. Traitors or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't watch any of
I
those.
didn't watch that. She was also
She
on
was
Dubai
horrible.
the first season.
She
She
was
made-
on Dubai. It was like she was going anywhere. Who will have me? Who will have me? You
Yeah,
know what? I'll move
exactly.
to Dubai. Married to Medicine. She said she was dating a doctor and nobody saw him.
Talk about thirsty, huh?
You see what I just did? If I wanted to do that, I couldn't have done it. I threw the pen up in the air and it landed in my water cup.
Magic tricks now, doesn't Gina?
I could never have done that if I tried. But no, I don't like Phaedra. She never should have been allowed back to the show. And if I was Portia, I would have filed. If I was Candy, I would have filed lawsuit charges against her.
I agree with you, but now wait a minute. Is she going to be on the show with Portia?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yep.
Portia's back.
Yeah, but Portia was.
I
Portia
think
never
her and
really had a
Portia were
problem with her.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were okay.
Portia's an idiot because I would not
Yeah,
have been okay
I mean
with her.
that's serious, man.
She was setting your ass up.
yeah,
And I hate Kenya, and I'm glad she's gone.
I try not to hate. I don't like to be so
You're
extreme.
right. I'm using hate in the wrong way.
I
when
used
I
to use
say
hate
hate,
too,
I
and then
mean
Wendy would say
dislike.
that, and I'm like, all right,
You're right. When I
love it.
say hate, I mean I don't like them.
Okay.
right.
But it's
I-
just a shorter word.
Yeah,
Right.
I usually say I'm not a fan of. So I was not a fan of Kenya. Not a fan of
Yep.
Kenya. Like I said, I do love Phaedra. I like her quick wit. I like that she's an attorney. I like that she's a mortician. I like that she has her son, Mr. President, and the Prince. I like her sippancy.
I do like that she calls her sons those names.
I like her pomp and circumstance. Like, there's more about her I like than that I don't like. So
Yeah.
that's why I like her.
Yeah.
She's just like, she seems really slimy and crooked to me. Like I
well,
wouldn't
I
trust
think
her.
that I think that she has some. I don't think she's the most ethical person, and I don't mean that about
I
her
have
with
no
like
problem
business
with
and as
people that
far as
aren't
being a
ethical.
lawyer. I'm sure she's a very ethical lawyer. I just mean she knows how to do reality TV. Let's face it, because what she
Yep.
did worked. Because she got back on the show. She wanted
She
to be
sure
on.
did.
Right.
Mhm.
And do you know what's going on now? Is a Tom Girardi trial.
I thought that it was starting.
He's not getting any press.
Why?
I don't know. I'm listening to a podcast about it right now. Hold on a second. I'll tell you.
Why
what it
aren't
is.
they? Why isn't anybody talking about this?
It's been going on all week and nobody's talking about it.
Stupid election and the stupid
Oh.
Olympics.
Go back to August 7th, Behind the Velvet Rope with David Yonteith has Kimberly Archie on. I didn't know this, but this is part 1 from August 7th because I went on today and I saw about it, and he basically said, "Everybody, this is part 2. Go back and listen to part 1." So I just turned it on. But it sounds like they're in the preliminary, with the jury selection and all of that.
Yeah.
The voir dire and
Yeah.
but
That
they
would
said
explain.
Erica's not a part of the trial and she won't even be there.
I was going to say, but I've heard that Erica is not really having such a great season right now because they are filming.
So she's being very defensive. I saw something where she's being very defensive with the producers. Like they must have asked her a question about it, and she was like, "I don't know, look it up." Like how she gets.
Yeah, which I don't blame her, especially if he's on trial right now. Like,
And especially if she's not a part of it. Like, first of all, she can't talk about it.
Right.
She gave a lot after he was arrested. She gave a lot.
Yeah. And I also heard that Dorit is not very kind this season.
Yeah.
Because of everything
picture?
that's going on with PK and her.
I heard
No,
that.
what
What was that?
picture?
Watch What Happened Live something? But I saw
Garcelle said it somewhere.
Yeah, on
said
Jeff
it on
Lewis.
Jeff Lewis. That's
Yeah.
where I heard it.
Yeah, Garcelle and Jeff Lewis.
What was I just saying? We were talking about. I saw a photo of Dorit. They're on a trip, on a cast trip, and she's in a bathing suit. She looks horrible. She's
does.
skin and bones, all skin and bones.
I
And it's
mean,
it's not attractive skinny.
it's
like
probably
sick skinny.
stress for her. I'm really hoping she's not on Ozempic because she certainly didn't need it.
No, she certainly
If the
did
doctor
not.
gave her Ozempic, he should have his license taken away from him.
Agreed. Actually, the same thing goes for Teresa. Whoever gave her Ozempic should lose their license because she goes to the gym, obviously. So she didn't need it, and she does not look good either. I don't know what these women are doing.
I have it, but I haven't taken it.
You haven't? You gonna start?
No, because it's not. I don't think I want to do it. Too many problems. Too many health issues. I just hear not so good stuff about it.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem getting it.
Maybe that's for another episode.
No, I'm overweight. You get it if you're overweight and you have, you have sugar issues.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you had some black market thing you were talking about.
No. I have a prescription in my Walgreens app. It's actually for Manjaro. It's not Ozempic, it's Manjaro. But, yeah, I don't know, kind of. I just hear too much bad stuff about it.
I know. I can get it. My doctor said, because I'm pre-diabetic, I'm overweight. I can definitely get it. But I'm with you. I'm kind of on the fence, going back and forth about it.
Okay. Until next time, thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Of course.
Thank you for joining us.
Yep. Can't wait for Saturday. Yeah. All right. Don't go anywhere. Keep doing that. Keep trying to use the mouth.